Countdown here. We'll start in about 8 seconds or so. All right. Welcome, Denver. My name is James Young. I am CEO of Abridged. We make a product called Collab.Land. And today I'm here to talk about Telefrens, the first social trading bot. And want to get into it. So for those in the audience and on the stream watching this, whether live or on recording, what we've seen, kind of TLDR, based off of our data from Collab.Land and where we see things going, is that we're noticing a new type of degen that is appearing. And I'm going to walk through our findings and what we've experienced. Hopefully it'll be illuminating and educational for all of you. So some context. So before I talk about Telefrens, I want to give you some information about Collab.Land. So we've been around for about 4 years. We service and help manage about 54,000 communities on Telegram and Discord. We are a token gating bot. And what that means is if you have an asset, like an NFT, you can use that and use the Collab.Land bot to verify that you hold that asset. And if you do, you get into special channels within Telegram, chat channels in Telegram and or Discord. Currently, we have about 13 million connected wallets. We manage over 30 different chains, so all of the major EVM chains, but also non-EVM chains. Bitcoin is recently popped up. If all of you or any of you know about like ordinals or inscriptions, we service Solana, Near, and Flow, and a bunch of other chains like Polkadot, for example. And a lot of the communities that we manage are the blue chip NFT communities, a lot of prominent DeFi communities, gaming communities like Axie Infinity. And what we're seeing as crypto and NFTs mainstream is a lot of consumer brands. So there is Adidas, McLaren, Barbie, and we're seeing a lot of these communities grow. So much so that this last month in January was our largest growth month ever. So, you know, we believe that momentum is now coming back into the cycle, into the market. It's a little bit different this time around because it's not happening all on one chain. And so we're seeing a lot of growth across a bunch of different chains, especially different L2s. Now, again, that on ETH mainnet gas is becoming more expensive. We as a community also launched a token last year around this time. So we had our first 1-year lockup period expire. We have about 110,000 token holders. And over the course of this last year, we've held over 50 community spaces on X. We've had 34 town halls in Discord that we've streamed and recorded. You can check out our YouTube. We have over 24 or about 24 dev deep dives explaining our technology and what we're doing. There's a lot that we do under the hood. I'll explain a little bit about that when I talk about Telefrens. We done a lot of live DevRel sessions. That we have integrations. We have a whole platform of mini apps that third-party developers can utilize and build to leverage the Collab.Land distribution base. We've had 15 spotlight on security. Security is one of those values that we hold up along with privacy. And so, especially in crypto, and with a lot of new people coming in, especially from like NFTs, security is paramount and utmost importance for us. So we have these security sessions. And we've been running these AI research team meetups. And again, I'll explain a little bit more in terms of what we and how we see AI playing out when it comes to communities and tokenized communities. So that's a little bit about Collab.Land, what we've seen happening, and what we, you know, are coming from. Now, as we get into this next cycle, and arguably, I think people would say that we're already in a new cycle right now. We've not only taken a look at our data, not only listened to our community, getting feedback, but what has also informed us is the technical advances, the technical innovations that now have become unlocked. So these four techs are kind of initiatives have really set the groundwork for us, and we really try to figure out, how do we utilize these innovations. So one is smart accounts. I don't know, who's heard about account abstraction here in the audience? All right, so smart accounts. What we've done is we made it easy for people to onboard into crypto. So you can, in a Telegram or a Discord, if it's managed by a Collab.Land bot, we have the capability where you as the end user can do transactions within these third-party platforms without having to leave the platform. So it's that convenience factor. We use multi-party compute networks, MPC networks. Who's heard of MPC networks? So we partnered with a project called Lit Protocol. And with Lit, they have the ability to shard your private key. So we, as Collab.Land, do not have custody of your account. You do. And I'm happy if people are interested in understanding more of the technical detail and how you maintain sovereignty without having to manage your own private key. Happy to talk to you about that. And with this, along with the smart accounts, users can have full custody of their account. And there are other things that we can provide along the way with these smart accounts under this EIP, this Ethereum Improvement Proposal 4337, where you as a user onboarding into crypto don't even need a ETH or anything to pay for gas. So all of this tech is production ready in 2023. We've been working on this in terms of integration for about a year at Collab.Land. And everyone understands, and if you're, coming to ETHDenver, I think it's hard pressed to not hear about crypto and AI. And so we've been working on fine-tuning a language model for a group community setting where people can express in natural language, because community chat is not only a great interface for people to talk together online, but it's a great interface for AI. So that's why I think you see a lot of AI interfaces being chat-based. And so, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to Telefrens. And then these like yield-based business models. So I think it's today there is an L2 that's launching with a yield-based system. And so with all of this, with our data and what we're seeing in terms of growth and the type of communities that we see are engaged online that have a token, and with all this tech that is being ready and production available, we thought to ourselves, okay, how do we apply this? And with that though, we also took a step back and we also looked at what's happening culturally. And all of this, like this next slide that I'm gonna present is just kind of, my subjective opinion. And so, and I'll go through this real quick and then we'll get to Telefrens. So you see after COVID, and I would argue that a lot of this like previous cycle was spawned from COVID and people being locked down, but people wanting to connect, so they go online. People not being able to really make money, if you will. So I think there was an intention and a mainstream interest when it came to crypto. And so with that, you see the proliferation of NFTs, for example. But post-COVID, after COVID, you've seen these different social platform dynamics. You see Twitter changing its name to X, new owners. You see Threads applying and reaching, a new demographic or audience. You see decentralized social networks like Mastodon pop up. You also have seen like this multipolar shift where you see cultural dominance, from, I guess, other areas of the world, specifically Asia, rising in dominance. So that has this like internet kind of resonance as well. And I think you see that a lot too in crypto. You see brands adopting NFTs, so you see the mainstreaming, and that's what we see a lot at Collab.Land. We get approached by brands all the time, asking, because Collab.Land is a free product, these brands actually wanting to like just give us money because they can't just be having a free product manage their communities. They need someone to be held responsible for things if they go wrong, because they're more in this defensive position. So you see this mainstreaming of NFT communities. You see this kind of, if you're familiar with like streetwear and hype beast, you see this, I guess, post-COVID, post-hype beast, what's happening next movement. They go from being kind of quasi-online to now being full degens. I would argue that this type of streetwear cultural drop culture actually has fueled NFTs and is very much a parallel to what you see, regardless whether you like it or not, like airdrop and airdrop farming. And then what we're seeing now too, which I don't know if a lot of people, especially in the Ethereum ecosystem, really understand, is this Bitcoin kind of cultural energy that is coming down the pipeline. And again, this is my opinion, but the way I see it is that the halvening is going to happen probably in April-ish time frame. Miner fees are going to get reduced. And what you're seeing and what I'm hearing, I would love to talk to anyone that is part of the Bitcoin ecosystem or community, is seeing the miners being okay with these new type of experiments like layer 2s and with their version of NFTs, so ordinals or inscriptions. And I think you're seeing this huge like ecosystem buy-off there from these communities. And I think with that, you see this renaissance happening in Bitcoin right now. That is this overall revival. They may be, in my opinion, a cycle late, but like Bitcoin and the community and the ecosystem there feels kind of like 2019, 2020. So they're kind of like a cycle behind. But all of this together, so our data, the tech that's happening in the Ethereum or EVM ecosystem, the kind of dynamics that are happening worldwide and culturally, we, I think, are coming into this like next cycle of like, if you want to call them shit coins or if you want to call them meme coins, I think I'm just labeling them like status coins right now because it's really about status. And for me, I've been an Ethereum developer since 2016. personally, I had this kind of, I don't know, distaste or this kind of hands-off approach when you see the 2017 like ICO cycle. And you saw that most recently. Even though a bunch of our communities are NFT communities, I'm not coming from a trading background. I'm more coming from the DAO space and coordination space. But I think that, and this is where Telefrens comes in, and this is why we are experimenting with it, is that you're seeing just this new mode of a trader coming on. And I think it's really going to be spurred on by these AI agents. You can imagine, so for Collab.Land, we managed the largest Discord server in the world, which was Axie Infinity. That has now been dethroned by Midjourney. So Midjourney is now the largest Discord server in the world. And you have all these channels of people typing /imagine and then doing these prompts. And the AI returning visually these AI-generated images. And what we've seen hold and getting traction is people wanting to understand how to make trading prompts. Because if you're a DJ and you're probably in a couple of these like Telegram alpha groups, these private groups, and you can probably you're in a few of them trying to get the latest alpha. But what we're seeing is people learning and using AI to get that edge. Now, for us at Collab.Land, working on smart accounts and making mainstream adoption easier, for us, what we're thinking is like, if we allow mainstream adoption to happen, retail is just going to get fleeced by these algo traders. And so for us with Telefrens, trying to kind of nurture this new type of trader slash reseller slash collector, if you will, of these status coins, what we're seeing is that they come together in a group and they're creating these trading prompts to be able to gain status, whether they're early or in a group or know about a coin first, or through the fragmentation of all these different L2s, being able to arbitrage. Because it's really hard, and I think as we get into this cycle, the whole thing is like people are going to be in front of their laptops or their desktops 24/7. We see this new kind of gameplay happening with AI, and it's emergent. And we see this as an extension of NFT communities, so these kind of new form of degen traders, if you will, are more on the collectible side. They're not reading charts, they're not doing TA, they're not creating algo scripts, and they're not sharing them. They're just basically, collecting these coins and selling them. And they are not NFTs. They are fungible because their fungible tokens are just a lot more liquid and more quickly to be traded. And you're seeing the rise of this group trading. And people are doing this for status. So that's Telefrens. That's our experiment. I hope it was insightful to everyone in terms of how we've distilled 4 years of analysis, trying to understand the technology that is coming our way this next cycle, and in the context of these broader, macro dynamics, basically culture as we see it, because I think that we have this mainstreaming moment with crypto. It's not something that I would have imagined 8 years ago, but here we are now. So 8 years ago, I thought it would happen in a year or two, but now I see that it's happening now, and we're embracing it. And so be on the lookout for Telefrens. I'm James Young. I should have put my Twitter there, but I'm James Young on Twitter if you want to reach out. And thank you very much.